Thank you, everyone. This is First Center of Religious Science, and this is our Creative Life series. And this class, we've been doing it for a few months now. And basically, we come each time to discuss how to improve on our life activities, daily life activities, family dynamics, nutrition, and improve on where we are now onto greater. We're always wanting to move from the good to greater. And today, we'll be talking about a series that we've been on, how to improve on our life and all that happens to us. And our title today, it's Taking New Approach, Thinking Outside the Box. And the purpose of this class is to enable us understand fully who we are and as spiritual beings and how to use the power that we have to fulfill purpose. We are constantly exploring ways at the center to be creative and productive. This is something each of us can do in our own lives. If I were to ask you if you want to experience more good in your life, I am sure everyone will say yes. And we all know that there is a power in the world and great good, and you can have it. I mean, Dr. Greg is always talking about this power that we have within us. And we did a lesson sometime, and we went through a book, Moving from Good to Great. We're always constantly wanting to move from good to great. I mean, that would be the desire for everyone, an individual or any organization, to improve on your status quo. So we are constantly wanting to improve on where we are, moving from good to great. And I remember also one of the passages in the Bible that that talks about creative energy, and that we are here to have life and have it more abundantly. It's not just to pass through life. Life is to be enjoyed, and we are to live life more abundantly, emphasizing that more abundantly. And our job as individuals and caretakers of ourselves, our job is to go in and take it and discover this power. And not just discovering the power is one aspect, to discover the power because it's there within you. You have to go in and discover it. And the other aspect is to learn how to use this power fundamentally, firstly, for your own good. I mean, our Thursday class is about self-love, self-healing. The healing, the love starts with you. You have to love yourself before you can love your neighbor. So part of what we do or talking about today is to discover that power that you have. You're created with that power, is within you. You have it. You don't need to go outside of you for anything. You have everything you need for life and godliness resident in you. And the next level is to learn how to use it. And that's what we gather each time, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Sundays, to talk about learning how to use the power, the principles of the teaching, how to discover yourself and learning how to use it. So we are not here to just merely exist. We are like individuals, explosives. It has to be, when you detonate the explosive, of course, the action is in when it's detonated. If you leave it dormant, it's dormant, nothing happens to it. So we're here to live life, not just to merely exist, not just to exist. I mean, we have individual talents and giftings that are waiting to be explored, and that's what we gather each time here to talk about. And we are not here also to struggle to life. I mean, the struggle is as a result of us not understanding who we are. We are meant to live life and live life abundantly. And when we live life abundantly, we experience joy, happiness, more abundance, prosperity. I mean, we see all these good things manifesting because that is our original DNA. That is who we are meant to be. And again, part of this class, we'll also be talking about learning how to think outside the box. If we want to be expansive, if we want to take on new approaches, it's the same thing like thinking outside the box. What are other ways of doing things to get a positive response that we are looking for? What are other ways to improve on what we are? And this involves learning how to solve problems, different situations and tasks in different ways. I mean, thinking outside the box involves brainstorming and journaling. Dr. Greg talked about journaling and getting, writing things down. When intuitions and things come to mind, you write it down. They could be explosive ideas that will lead us or lead you into greater inventions. And then part of what we'll discuss today would be also how to consider unconventional ways of doing things to get the required results. I mean, you've been doing it in a certain way and you get the same results. So part of what we'll talk today is what are other unconventional ways or perspectives that we have not tried before? Things that occur to you and you're like, oh, this may not work out. Or people might not perceive this as being right, but we are here to tell you that some of those unconventional ways of thinking in unconventional manners perspectives could bring the required result. So we're talking about taking new approaches, adopting different novel ways of thinking, and acting in order to solve a problem. And we all know that you are a creative mind, you are a creative person. I am, because we have it within us. And creative people dream, we journal, we write, we meditate, we allow time. We ask ourselves questions. I mean, we've always talked about, this was a lesson that we did on Sunday last year. We talked about taking that pause that refreshes. I mean, you come up with new ideas, you have dreams. It takes time. It's just like a seed that is planted. You water it and you watch it grow. You also have to tend it. We always tell ourselves to take that pause that refreshes, because that's the time of meditation. That is the time of filling those thoughts with positive affirmations, doing a lot of things to birth the desired results that we all want. And a typical example here is like a medical treatment that's not working. And there's so many things that could have resulted in that thing not working. Maybe a mindset, maybe the drugs are not right for the moment, or so many other things. What do? We don't just totally discard everything. We'll try it in a different form, maybe different proportions of the medication, maybe more tests will be run to, or maybe it might even be settling some things within, because we've come to realize that about this mind-body experience, not everything, but most things that happen to us emanate from the mind. And that's why the Bible somewhere talked about guarding your heart with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues of life. The heart is like the gateway of so many things. If you think, say the medicine will heal you, it will. If you think it's just med drug and it's just chalk and it won't do anything, nothing will happen. So part of what we are also talking about, it's trying to explore different avenues from what we are used to get the desired results that we want. And another example here, it's say even in relationship or friendships, I mean, you try different things to solve problems. Maybe you try having more time with your friend, partner, exploring different things just to smoothen rugged roads. Okay, and another thing, another aspect I would like to bring out is about we have within us all the information in this world. We are inlets and outlets of creativity. So we can trust life, like Louise says, we can. I mean, I think there was a program of Louise says you can do this. So there's a program, you can do this. And what that basically means is that, again, anything you need for life and godliness, you can do it. This power is within you. And all we need is just to trust yourself and trust life and trust things that are happening. There's something we also constantly say here, that it's happening for your own good. And let me remember this. Whatever good that would happen needs to happen through you. You know, it has to happen through you. You have to be a willing vessel and let that occurrence happen, activity happen through you. But in life, everything, both the good, both the bad, challenging things, they are working out for your own good. And everything is happening so we'll come to the expected result that we all want. And I'd like to just mention some statements by some people who talked about new approaches. Oh, just a minute. Okay. The greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence, it is to act within yesterday's logic. And we're talking about taking new approaches. We're talking about thinking outside the box. And if we want a change in a situation, in a circumstance, we can't be depending on yesterday's information or knowledge. This is by Peter Drucker. He says, the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence, it is to act with yesterday's logic. And we always know and say that change is a constant. We have to be willing to accept change and everything that comes with it. Even in situations, you've tried a thing different times, keep trying and try a different way. If you want something you've never had, then you've got to do something you've never done. This is very deep. If you want something you never had, then you have to do something you've never done. I mean, this does not really need any explanation. If you want to result something different, if you want to move from good to great, you have to do something different. The only way to do great work is to love what you do, period. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. If you haven't found what you're looking for, it's there. Don't settle for less. You're not getting the best that you can. If you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always got. Simple. So I would just go through some of the things that we need to do that are essential for us to get and the result that we're all looking for, to make us to be more innovative and creative. And if you want things we need to do to get the result of thinking outside the box, we challenge assumptions, question assumptions, question everything that doesn't seem right. Don't settle, don't accept things just because everybody's moving with it. Consider alternative perspectives. This will help break down limiting beliefs and encourage you to be creative. I mean, we battle with these limiting beliefs. We talk about it most times on Thursday, during the Thursday class. There are things we've grown with, family. That's the way we do it. That's the way it's always been done. Or don't even try that. If you try, you will get the same thing. I mean, these are things that bind us to status quo. We encourage here to question every assumption, question beliefs that don't agree with you. You know, sometimes you don't agree with something within you and you're uncomfortable and you're just going because someone is there doing it, someone you respect is there. Question everything that does not agree with you. That's probably a prompting from within you for a change. Then take fresh perspectives. Look at problems from different perspectives. Don't just, okay, this is the way we've always done it. Take time out to think through something. I mean, there was also a class we did some here on Thursday, and it was about getting a piece of paper and writing things out. Okay, it occurs to you, this is another perspective, you just write it down. You could be dreaming or bathing and something occurs to you, you write it down. And when you have time and read through all you've written down, you find that there's a solution, there's something great coming out from that. Greg sometimes says, ask yourself in a time of change, what is the most self-loving thing I can do? That's not a question you just ask yourself for 5 minutes and you get the answer. It's a question that you ask, and I mean, the answer keeps coming all through the year, all through your life. What is the most self-loving thing I can do? I mean, as I'm talking about it, it seems like it's something I would get a book and put that question on front of the book. And for every answer that comes to mind, I put it there. Because that could be me charting a trajectory for my life, for my next level. This is a deep question. And there will always be an answer, a fresh answer. An insight would come. What is the most self-loving thing I can do to myself? You know what that does? It's not just that it gives you insight, it also empowers you. It makes you understand who you are. Because most of the challenges or problems get solved when we understand who we are. Because when you understand who you are and when you do some things or take some actions, you're able to correlate, oh, this is why this is happening. Even when people say things about you that is not who you are not perturbed because that is not who you are. So this is a deep question and something that we should always be, or we want to be looking at all the time. Be mindful of the word should. Okay, then experiment with new ideas. I mean, experiment is part of things that we need for growth. We need to be trying things always. I mean, if you want to change, if you want to move from good to great, you have to be willing to experiment, try new things. I've tried it this way. You tried, what really comes to mind would be chemistry. You tried adding hydrogen chloride to something. There's always a vigorous reaction. You try it in a different way, you know, something happens. You have to keep trying. Oh, I did a percentage of this time. I'm doing a percentage of this. Let me see the outcome. You know, we have to keep trying new things to be creative. We are talking about creativity. We are talking about bringing out who we are created to be. I mean, we are creative beings. We are intelligent beings. We are intelligent. And the essence of this meeting is to make us use these things that we have been created for our own good and for others. I mean, we have everything. We said that a number of times, everything we need for life and godliness within us. We do not have to go outside of us for anything. We have all the answers within us. So try out new ideas, techniques, approaches, and this will always spark creativity and generate innovative solutions. Even working, things you could do would be working from a different location, go to a different room, travel to a different place, a different time, try different things out. You'll be amazed the outcome that will come out of it. Okay, I mentioned about guarding our hearts with all diligence, and that is focused on positive, filling ourselves with positive and empowering beliefs and being open to new ideas and possibilities. It also involves being aware of your thoughts and beliefs and intentionally choosing to think in ways that support your goals. I also remember a lesson about, Dr. Greg talked about a lady that when thoughts that are not positive are not what she wants, she will just say nest. So you might be with her and you just hear someone say nest, nest. She's just waving off the bad thoughts and filling it with thoughts that would bring forth the fruit that we all want. I mean, positive thoughts. I mean, if you fill ourselves with positivity, we create positivity. If you're filled with negative thoughts, of course, the outcome will not be what we want. So we are constantly encouraged to fill ourselves with positive thoughts and let go of any negative thoughts. And I give an example here. In 1944, Johnny Mercer wrote a song that Aretha sang. You've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch onto the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In between. Basically, talking about getting rid of every negative thoughts and filling it with positive ideas to get the desired result. In this teaching, we emphasize the power of mind, or the power you have in your consciousness to shaping your life. Developing a positive mindset is the thing that will let you manifest your desires and achieve your goals. Believe in your own potential. This belief in your own potential could be a lesson or a class, a series, because part of the things that limit most people is doubting themselves, doubting their capabilities, doubting that they have this. That's why sometimes, maybe something like swimming, you've been practicing, and still when it gets to trying to jump into the water, you're scared, you're afraid, you don't want to. But when they push the person into the pool, the person begins to swim because of fear, because we doubt, we are not able, I'm not able. The outcome of anything will always be in the trying. You don't sit down and things happen. Miracles don't just happen. You have to activate it. If you want something to happen, then you profess it. I mean, that's why we're talking about the thoughts that we have. They're creative, they're powerful. So we are wanting to believe and know. I mean, there has to be a knowing that you have this thing within you. I have it within me. I am powerful. I'm strong. I'm above only. Failure is just a process. You get to the extent where you even see a failure as success because it's leading you to the expected end. It's not a position, it's a process. I mean, for everything you've tried and you didn't succeed, you know one way not to try again. And one of the greatest places to start working on building your belief in your own potential is attending our classes, our Thursday classes. I can't, in a nutshell, say what the Thursday class is. Okay, I'll try. It's a self-healing class. It's a self-love class. And this class will teach, Dr. Greg will always teach you how to love yourself first before you can love your neighbor. Because in loving yourself, you will know how to love. You can't give what you don't have. It has to come from within. So this is what this class and what we are trying to bring to fore to everyone, where we're always reminding everyone how to love yourself more. And beyond that, we intend and want to cultivate a belief in our ability to learn, to grow, and achieve our goals, and being willing to try different things and be more creative. Then on Sunday, we always come up into the world with all that is necessary. Sunday class, it's not just about raising consciousness. That is fundamental, because the mind, the consciousness, and understanding the principles of the teaching is one fundamental thing that is always taught on Sundays. We teach the law and love and how to understand who we are and what we have come here to be. Then the other aspect of how to be creative is embracing uncertainty, being open to uncertainty. I mean, if there are businesses I know that closed up because when they saw or heard about new inventions, they said, oh, I've captured the market. I don't need any new thing. I have everything. I have 80% or 90% of the market. I don't need to explore other ways of doing things. And before they knew what happened, they were overtaken and they folded up. So we have to be open and embrace uncertainty in innovative ways. I mean, even when things are not happening the way we want it, we have to be open and look through the process and go through the process. There are some roads we go. I mean, they're not clear, they're uncertain, you've not been there before, but we have to be open and explore and go through the process. It seems we all sometimes have days where nothing seems to make sense to us. I mean, that happens all the time. I mean, you try something and you're not connecting with it. You even have food and you're not, what's wrong? I mean, some people have tried singing, you're singing, but you're not connecting with the song. Everything seems just awkward. As New Thought student, our default position of faith is to know all is well. That's a very strong one again, all is well. So that means even when things are not going right, underneath, you know that all is well. Because we also say, in this situation, only good can only come. The outcome can only be good. It's a deep understanding and knowing without a shadow of doubt that in the midst of this, only good can come out of it. So all is well, and we have faith that more will be revealed. I mean, if you're searching for something, hoping for something, trusting for some insight or revelation, just know that all is well. It will come, definitely. And we take a pause, we reflect, and we know all is God in action. Sometimes it's difficult also to say this, especially when things are not going well as planned, or there are some failures. But in it all, that's God in action. I mean, you see God in everything that we do every day. If you're mindful, you will see it. And we view our challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning. So the challenges, of course, if you see it as failure, it becomes a failure. If you see it as an opportunity for greater things, for learning, that will be the case. It's all for your good, not sometimes, but every time. So everything is working for your own good fundamentally. Not sometimes, it's all things, not some things, all things are unfolding for your own good. In due time, it would happen in divine order. Okay, the next one is focusing on solutions. We want to look away from the problem. This is very, very important. It's also difficult when you are in a situation to be able to see an expected result, a positive result. It takes a very conscious effort and mindfulness to do this. Imagine someone, you're in the valley of your life and someone is telling you, oh, it's well. It's very challenging, but it's possible. Is it possible? It's possible. It's possible to be in deep situations that are negative and in your mind focus on a positive outcome. And how do you do this? You can fill yourself with songs of inspiration, listen to lessons, things that inspire you, that will take your mind off the present situation to an expected result. So we want to look away from the problem, from what seems to be wrong and missing, and focus on solution. Remember, everything you focus on affects the state of your being, your mind. So if you focus on results, on positive ends, it will also affect the eventual result. This approach is life-giving and will bring creative ideas, new ideas to overcome obstacles and help achieve our goals. Then the next one here is practicing positive self-talk. I do this sometimes, and this is absolutely one of the most important things to get a handle on. Reverend Greg always encourages us to be mindful of our inner dialogue, explaining that it can be creative. Sometimes I'm working on maybe coming to work, and when I'm alone, I start speaking things because I know my words are powerful, they're creative. I start creating with my words the things I want for that day. I speak things into being. I mean, you hear of a situation, you are changing that thought in mind because that's not what you want. That's not the outcome you have. You know, it also happens when situations, we have medical results. Okay, this is what has happened. What have I been told to do? I'm doing it, and I'm speaking that whatever efforts I'm putting will give me the result that I want. I mean, we change the self-talk because that is very important. Out of this abundance of what you have in your mouth, in your mind, the mouth will talk. So if you change that talk and make it positive, it will change the outcome. The inner dialogue is very important. That's why on Thursday, we're always trying to monitor the tendencies of our thoughts. Mind the word, the tendencies of the thoughts, because they're creative. They determine the outcome always. So what is your inner dialogue with? That's why some people come to places on the walls of their offices or homes. They put things, words that are inspirational, that inspire them. I am complete. I am whole. I have everything I need for life and godliness. I am successful. I am the head. I will never be beneath. I mean, you see these things. As you see it, they are creative because they're positive thoughts. So our inner dialogue is very important, and it's reflected in our lives and our world. Then we also have to seek inspiration and support. I mean, that's the center. Apart from other places, the center is here. Sometimes people call in to talk to Dr. Greg, maybe for affirmative prayer, maybe to talk through issues and all that. So surround ourselves with people, resources, experiences that inspire us and support our goals. Sometimes you're doing a project, and so you get to a place, it becomes very overwhelming, and you want to talk with spiritual director or pray, you need some affirmative confirmations on treatment. The center is available for situations like that. I have a little more, but I'm thinking I should open the phone lines for Dr. Greg. Open the phone lines for discussion, and would want to know how you are trying or thinking outside the box, how you're creating situations around you to be more creative, how you are moving from good to great, because that's what I want to be my goal and my target for life, moving from good to great. I do not just want to exist. I want to always move from good to great, improve on status quo. And that is what the center also wants from everyone to do in their respective lives.